Combined meeting of the committees for Monday, March 3rd. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario, Nasty,
Here.
Reyes,
Here.
Co-chairs Hunley,
Here.
Klusny,
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Item number 2 is consideration to approve the minutes of the February 18th, 2025 combined meeting of the committees.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Any additions, corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 is audience input regarding agenda items before the committee. We have none. Item number 4 is discussion of accounts payable. Earlier this evening, we reviewed the following directives. Directive number 25-62 in the amount of $426,585.47. Directive number 25-63 in the amount of $459,972.06. And directive number 25-64 in the amount of $1,097,821.51. The gross payroll for February was $2,793,660.18.
Make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDWG for VMware firmware and software licensing services and the total cost of $17,057.44 through a Sourcewell participating agreement, funding in account number 620.9962-4105.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Joe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you indicated, it's very important to note that this is a State of Illinois Sourcewell contract, which means we're getting the best price possible on this. It is, as you indicated, the VMware firmware. It's for our server virtualization software that the village uses. And just so the board knows, what does that mean? That means that it actually helps our 7 current physical servers, and we have 43 virtual servers as well. We're at the end of the previous support contract, so this will be for another year, and we're asking for your favorable approval tonight.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6 is consideration of a resolution approving an order from OnSolve of Atlanta, Georgia for Code Red subscription services in the amount of $21,672.32. Funding in account number 100.1050-4110.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Don.
Thank you very much. This is a resolution to approve an order form from OnSolve for our Code Red subscription service beginning at the start of the upcoming fiscal year on May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026. This is a service that we use to communicate to our residents in times of emergency, and it has served our community well. We continue to market and promote this for those who are not subscribers and encourage them to become subscribers so they can get the important information that we are able to send to them. And we recommend your consideration.
Can they go on our website?
Absolutely. That is the only way to get it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I have no other questions. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is consideration of an ordinance repealing Chapter 11, Article 4 of the Village Code to eliminate the village's motor vehicle and motor bicycle sticker fees and requirements.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Colleen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So attached for your consideration is an ordinance which repeals Chapter 11, Article 4 of the Village Code regarding the village's motor vehicle sticker fees and requirements. The proposed ordinance eliminates the annual license fee and vehicle sticker requirements effective October 1st of 2025. The current village code mandates that every owner of a motor vehicle who resides within the village or owns a vehicle which has its situs or base within the village shall pay an annual an annual license fee. The fee generated by the system has been used for the maintenance of roads. However, feedback from our residents and data from recent years suggests that the cost and administrative burden outweigh the benefits. Furthermore, alternate funding mechanisms have been identified that would allow us to continue necessary services without this fee. The village has been discussing the repeal of the vehicle sticker for the past 9 months or so, and during this period, Mayor Veenstra and Deputy Mayor Tom Hunley have been in numerous discussions with our Community Advisory Commission regarding potential impacts and benefits of this change. Repealing the vehicle sticker and requirements is a step forward in aligning with the community feedback and optimizing village resources. The administrative simplification and the shift to alternate funding will allow the village to move forward with a fairer and more sustainable approach. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 8 is consideration of a resolution expressing the village's policy not to enact a 1% grocery tax in the village of Addison.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Colleen?
Thank you again, Madam Chair. So as you are aware, the state of Illinois is eliminating the 1% state grocery tax effective January 1st of 2026. The state bill gives the municipality the option to implement their own 1% tax without voter approval. This decision presents an opportunity for the village to consider its stance on this matter. After careful consideration and review of both financial and community impact assessments, it is recommended that the village should not implement its own 1% grocery tax once the state's grocery tax is repealed. Our goal is to maintain fiscal responsibility while minimizing the burden on our residents, particularly in regard to the essential food purchases. So we understand the importance of revenue generation for village's services, but staff believes that imposing an additional tax on groceries may exacerbate challenges for families and individuals in our community. Furthermore, with the state's repeal of this tax, staff feels it is best to allow residents some financial relief. This decision reflects staff's commitment to listening to our residents and prioritizing their economic well-being, particularly during times of financial uncertainty. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Mayor?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that that 1% tax that was being collected by the state would be remitted, had been remitted directly to the municipalities. So when the state decided to eliminate the tax, they essentially took a 1% sales tax away from municipalities. So that was part of the consideration that a lot of the towns in DuPage are looking at is, was money coming back to the municipalities, taken away by the state, and whether or not to reimpose it. And as you said, we've really studied the options and feel that in the best interest of our taxpayers that we are not going to reimpose it.
Good.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9 is consideration of an ordinance amending Chapter 8 of the Village Code, the Village of Addison Code regarding the retailer's occupation tax and municipal service occupation tax.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Colleen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So attached for your consideration is an ordinance which amends Chapter 8 of the Village Code regarding the village's retail occupation tax and municipal service occupation tax. The proposed ordinance increases the village's home rule municipal retailer's occupation tax and home rule municipal service occupation tax from 1.5% to 1.75%, effective July 1st of 2025. Section 811.1 of the Illinois Municipal Code permits the corporate authorities of a home rule municipality to impose a tax upon all persons who are engaged in the business of selling tangible personal property at retail within the jurisdiction of the municipality. Section 811.5 of the Illinois Municipal Code permits the corporate authorities of home rule municipality to impose a tax upon all persons who are making sales of service within the jurisdiction of the municipality. After either or both of these taxes have been imposed, the corporate authorities of a home rule municipality may increase said tax by 0.25% increments by adopting an ordinance or a resolution to that effect. So as you are aware, the village plans to eliminate the requirement that residents obtain annual vehicle stickers, which is effective October 1st of '25. The elimination of the vehicle sticker program will result in significant reduction to the village's annual revenue. In addition, the state of Illinois, through Public Act 103-0781, repealed and eliminated the statewide grocery tax effective January 1st of 2026. The statewide grocery tax was an important revenue stream for the village, accounting for revenue an approximate amount of $1 million in 2024. In order to offset the revenue lost from the elimination of the vehicle sticker program and the statewide grocery tax, village staff recommends the increase to the village's home rule municipal retailers occupation tax and home rule municipal service occupation tax is outlined above. Village staff is aware of the village's board's longstanding practice of imposing additional taxes, fees, and costs on village residents only when absolutely necessary to meet the funding needs of the village. Importantly, the proposed increase to the village retailer occupational tax and service occupational tax would be imposed on all transactions in the village, including transactions involving non-residents who travel into the village to purchase goods or services. If approved, the additional revenue generated by the 0.25% increase to the village's retail occupation tax and service occupation tax would be used to help offset the elimination of the vehicle sticker program and the statewide grocery tax. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? I do have one question. With the increase in the sales tax, that would cover non-residents as well as residents.
Yes, it would be for anybody that shops in the village of Addison.
Thank you.
If I could just add to that, too.
Sure, please.
It is important to note that a lot of our sales tax is generated from people outside of Addison. So if you take your Sam's Clubs, that's a great location there off of 355. So you have a lot of people outside of Addison, your Bloomingdales, your Itascas. So we have, it's a benefit to our residents where we have non-residents helping support our infrastructure and other needs.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, and we're still competitive to local.
Yes, we will still be
Villages.
competitive.
Because it's just 0.25%, correct?
1/4%.
0.25%, okay.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Colleen. Item number 10, consideration of a resolution approving an invoice from ABEEP LLC for a one-year subscription for GPS data and digital two-way radio services for the Public Works Department in the amount of $21,297.60. Funding and account number 610.6100.6113-4105.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Brian.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Public Works Department has a total of 68 two-way radios that are equipped with GPS tracking, and those are installed in all of our Public Works vehicles. Staff uses these radios on a daily basis, and they're especially useful during emergency situations. Staff has been able to effectively communicate with each other using these radios, and they have performed very well. So at this time, we're requesting your approval of the resolution for a one-year subscription service in the amount of $21,297.60. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, consideration to approve a one-year extension for uniform supply, floor mats, and laundering services from the Roscoe Company of Chicago, Illinois, in the base amount of $42,709.68. Funding in account number 4203 of Departments 1060, 6100, 2510, 2520, 5010, 5031, and 5032.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Ryan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. In 2021, we entered into a contract with Roscoe Company of Chicago, Illinois for uniforms, floor mats, and laundering services for the entire village, and uniforms for both buildings and grounds and public works. They were the only company that met the specifications that we had set out, and we negotiated the contract with them. The initial contract was for 3 years, and it had the ability for 2 one-year extensions if we agree upon a price. So this request is for the first one-year extension for this contract. And at this time, we're recommending approval of the one-year extension in the base amount of $42,709.68. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, consideration of a resolution approving a quotation from Agilent Technologies, Inc. of Wilmington, Delaware for the emergency purchase of an Agilent optical emission spectrometer and components in the not-to-exceed amount of $63,422.37, and a request to waive the formal bid process. Funding in account number 500.5032-4299.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Ryan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Lab and Technical Services Division of Public Works performs all the metals analysis for all industrial, municipal, and stormwater samples. The Agilent spectrometer that we currently had in the lab suffered a catastrophic failure and required replacement. We rely heavily on this equipment so we don't have to send all the samples out, incurring additional costs to the village. So we ended up doing an emergency purchase for this, as Agilent is a sole source provider for this. So that's why we're requesting a waiver of the formal bid process. So at this time, we're requesting approval of that waiver, as well as acceptance of the quote from Agilent in the not-to-exceed amount of $63,422.37. Thank you.
Thank you. How long does this piece of equipment typically last?
It will last over 10 years.
Great.
Yep.
Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Item number 13 is consideration to award bid number 24-12-2 to John Neary Construction Company, Inc. for the 2024 water main replacement and resurfacing project for Janice, Valerie, and Marilyn in the amount of $1,897,188.25. Funding in account number 500.5010-4503 and 250.9925-4401.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Mike?
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. This item for your consideration is a request to award bid number 24-12-2 to John Neary Construction Company in the amount of $1,897,188.25. The bid before you tonight was approximately $143,000 less than the next lowest bid and approximately $465,000 lower than our engineer's estimate, so that's a good thing. Design engineering services for this project is currently at $83,000, and we've also budgeted $90,000 for engineering and quality assurance and testing, making the anticipated total cost for this project approximately $2,070,688.20. And the proposed fiscal year 25-26 budget for this project came in at around $2.4 million. So we're under that by about $400,000, which is a good thing. In addition to that, staff did apply for and received a $600,000 community development block grant, which lowers our out-of-pocket costs even more. So tonight, having said that, staff's requesting your favorable consideration and award bid number 24-12-2 to John Neary Construction Company in the amount of $1,897,188.25.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14 is consideration to approve an MFT resolution for the 2025 street maintenance program in the amount of $1,610,000. Funding in account number 9925-4401 and 9925-4459.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Mike.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item for your consideration and approval is an IDOT resolution for the upcoming fiscal year 25-26 MFT Street and Sidewalk Maintenance Program in the amount of $1,610,000. In your packet is a copy of the IDOT resolution, a map of the streets to be considered, and an estimate of the costs. The streets selected this year were developed using data from a 2022 pavement management report, visual inspection by our engineering team, as well as collaboration from our Public Works Department. We're proposing to resurface just over 3 miles of streets, including sidewalk replacement using MFT funds, sidewalk replacement money, as well as local street maintenance funds totaling $2,670,000, which also includes quality assurance and testing as part of that. We're anticipating the work to be bid out in the next couple of months, work starting in the summer and completion in the fall. So tonight, unless there's any questions, we're seeking your favorable consideration in approving this resolution.
Thank you. No questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15 is consideration of a resolution approving an IDOT joint funding agreement for construction work on the Lombard Road North resurfacing project from Army Trail Boulevard to Lake Street. Funding in account number 250.9925-4415.
Make the motion?
Second.
Thank you. Mike.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attached in your packet is a standard IDOT joint funding agreement for sharing the construction costs for the Lombard Road North resurfacing project, which extends from Army Trail Boulevard north to Lake Street. This agreement specifies the division of construction costs only, which are estimated at a little over $2.1 million. The maximum federal share of 70% is capped at approximately $1.4 million, with the balance borne by the village in the amount of approximately $640,549. Other costs such as environmental studies, material testing, design and material testing, and inspections bring the total project cost to approximately $2.4 million. We plan on letting the project is expected to be in April, but that really depends on IDOT. They're a little slow these days with their paperwork, so we're hoping that happens in April. Having said that, staff seeking your favorable consideration in approving this resolution.
Thank you. No questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the Building Zoning Development Committee items. Item number 16 is consideration of an ordinance approving and placing the zoning district map on record. Is there a motion?
Make the motion?
Second.
Motion is second. On discussion. Mike?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hunley. By state statute and by ordinance, the village is required to update our zoning map annually with any changes that have occurred throughout the past year. Staff's reviewed all these changes that have occurred and revised the zoning map accordingly. A copy of the revised map was placed in your packets for your review. This past year, we had one zoning change, which was an annexation and a rezoning to the R2 district, and that has been added to the map. So unless there's any questions, staff's requesting your favorable consideration in approving this ordinance tonight.
I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
And moving on to Public Health, Safety, and Judicial Committee items. Item number 17, consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Itasca Fire Protection District.
Make the motion.
Second.
Roy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item for your consideration is a resolution approving an IGA between the Village of Addison and Itasca Fire Protection District. If you recall, we put all of our member agencies between that ACDC provides services for onto the same IGA start date, which will be May 1st. So we have 3 more of those for you tonight. This one is between Village of Addison and Itasca Fire Protection District. It'll run for 3 years, beginning May 1st, 2025. For the first year, the Itasca Fire Protection District will pay the Village of Addison $84,193. In year 2, $91,184, and in year 3, $98,951. And we request your approval.
Sounds good to me. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And item number 18, consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Itasca.
Make the motion.
Second.
Roy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item for consideration, in keeping with Itasca's for the Village of Itasca, specifically the Police Department. Again, it'll be another 3-year intergovernmental agreement beginning May 1st, 2025. First year, the Village of Itasca will pay the Village of Addison $310,695. In year 2, $336,497. And in year 3, $365,159. And we request your favorable approval.
Thank you. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And a third, number 19, consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Westmont.
Make the motion.
Second.
Roy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this item for consideration is another IGA, this time between Village of Addison and Village of Westmont. So Village of Westmont is unique. They do not have a fire protection district. Fire protection falls under the city, so this combines both police and fire into one. So Village of Westmont will pay the Village of Addison, same thing, for a 3-year IGA beginning May 1st, 2025. In year 1, they will pay $826,079. In year 2, $894,681. And in year 3, $970,889. And we request your favorable approval.
Okay, creeping up at $1 million. Sounds good. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Roy. Item number 20, audience participation regarding village business. We have none tonight. Item number 21, executive session isn't necessary. Item number 22, other business at the discretion of the chairman. Nothing. And item number 23,
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Meeting for Monday, March 3rd to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Del Rosario is not here this evening. Trustees Kluzny,
Here?
Hundley,
Here.
Nasty,
Here.
O'Brien,
Here.
Reyes,
Here.
and Mayor Veenstra.
Here. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the invocation tonight given by Pastor Bob Tetrick of Messiah Baptist Church.
Well, good evening. It's so good to see everyone here. I've been asked several times in the last month why I'm so willing to come here and pray. Well, it's my day off, so I don't have a whole lot to do on Monday night, so I enjoy doing it. Also, the Bible commands that we pray for those in our leadership. And tonight, I'm going to read a couple verses from 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 2, and this is what Timothy tells us to do for those that are in leadership. It says, "Therefore I exalt first of all that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men." Then it says for kings, which we don't have here, but it says for all who are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness. And so I think it's our duty as pastors to pray for you with what you have to put up with and do every day that nobody sees. So let's pray. Thank you that we can be here tonight. I thank you for this opportunity that the village gives me so often, and I count it a privilege, God, that you have chosen me that I can be here. These men and women, the time that they give up, the sacrifices that they make, the comments sometimes that are not so flattering, are complimentary. People want to criticize before they know the whole story, and that's just the way it's been ever since your time. But I uplift each man and woman here, that you would bless them in a special way, that you would grant them health and life, that you would protect their families, the decisions that they make, that says that we should pray for them in all godliness, and that's what we're doing tonight. I pray that you would bless those that are out protecting us tonight. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you again.
Thanks for being here. Item number 4 is the approval of the minutes of the February 18th Village Board meeting. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The February 18th Village Board minutes are approved. Then we had a special Village Board meeting on the 18th also. The meetings need to be approved. And is there a motion for that?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved. And we also need approval of the minutes of the February 19th Special Village Board meeting. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The minutes stand approved. Item 4 is the proclamations, appointments, and presentations. This evening, we do not have any. Item 5, audience input regarding agenda items before the board. I don't believe we have any audience input. Item 7 is the consent agenda. 7A is approval of accounts payable.
Earlier this evening, the committee recommended approval of the following directives. Directive number 25-62 in the amount of $426,585.47. Directive 25-63 in the amount of $459,972.06. Directive number 25-64 in the amount of $1,097,821.51. And gross payroll for February, $2,793,660.18.
Thank you. 7B is approval of a one-year extension for uniform supply, floor mats, and laundering services from the Roscoe Company of Chicago, Illinois, in the base amount of $42,709.68. And 7C, approval to award bid 24-12-2 to John Neary Construction Company Incorporated for the 2024 water main replacement and resurfacing project for Janice Valerie in Maryland in the amount of $1,897,188.25. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Luzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Item 8, ordinances and resolutions. 8A is the first reading of an ordinance approving and placing the zoning district map on record.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves and places the zoning district map on record. The committee recommended approval and first reading as requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance approving and placing the zoning district map on record.
First reading only.
First reading. 8B is the first reading of an ordinance repealing Chapter 11 of Article 4 of the Village Code to eliminate the village motor vehicle and motor bicycle sticker fees and requirements.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which repeals Chapter 11, Article 4 of the Village Code to eliminate the village's motor vehicle and motor bicycle sticker fees and requirements. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance repealing Chapter 11, Article 4 of the Village Code to eliminate the village's motor vehicle and motor bicycle sticker fees and requirements.
First reading.
First reading. 8C is the first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 8 of the Village Code regarding the retailer's occupation tax and municipal service occupation tax.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends Chapter 8 of the Village of Addison Code regarding the retailer's occupation tax and municipal service occupation tax. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 8 of the Village of Addison Code regarding the retailer's occupation tax and municipal service occupation tax.
First reading.
First reading. 8D is consideration of a resolution expressing the village's policy not to enact a 1% grocery tax in the Village of Addison.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which expresses the village's policy not to enact a 1% grocery tax in the Village of Addison. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution expressing the village's policy not to enact a 1% grocery tax in the Village of Addison.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Second. Motion and a second to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Luzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8E is consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDWG for VMware, firmware, and software licensing services in the total cost of $17,057.44 through a Sourcewell participating agreement.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a quote from CDWG for VMware, firmware, and software licensing services in the total cost of $17,057.44 through a Sourcewell participating agreement. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDWG for VMware, firmware, and software licensing services in the total cost of $17,057.44 through a Sourcewell participating agreement.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Second. Motion and second to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Luzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8F is consideration of a resolution approving an order form from the Onsalve of Atlanta for Code Red subscription services in the amount of $21,672.32.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an order form from Onsolve of Atlanta, Georgia for Code Red subscription services in the amount of $21,672.32. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an order form from Onsolve of Atlanta, Georgia for Code Red subscription services in the amount of $21,672.32.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion is second to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty, O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. AG is consideration of a resolution approving an invoice from ABEEP LLC for a one-year subscription for GPS data and digital two-way radio services for the Public Works Department in the amount of $21,297.60.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an invoice from ABEEP LLC for a one-year subscription for GPS data and digital two-way radio services for the Public Works Department in the amount of $21,297.60. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an invoice from ABEEP LLC for a one-year subscription for GPS data and digital two-way radio services for the Public Works Department in the amount of $21,297.60.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion is second to adopt. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty, O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. 8H is consideration of a resolution approving a quotation from Agilent Technologies Incorporated of Wilmington, Delaware for the emergency purchase of an Agilent optical emission spectrometer and components in the not-to-exceed amount of $63,422.37 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a quotation from Agilent Technologies, Inc. of Wilmington, Delaware, for the emergency purchase of an Agilent optical emission spectrometer and components in the not-to-exceed amount of $63,422.37, and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a quotation from Agilent Technologies, Inc. of Wilmington, Delaware for the emergency purchase of an Agilent optical emission spectrometer and components in the not-to-exceed amount of $63,422.37 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion is second to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty, O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8I is the consideration of an MFT resolution for the 2025 street maintenance program in the amount of $1,610,000.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the 2025 street maintenance program in the amount of $1,610,000. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of an MFT resolution for the 2025 street maintenance program in the amount of $1,610,000.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion is second to adopt. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty, O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8J is consideration of a resolution approving an IDOT joint funding agreement for construction work on the Lombard Road North resurfacing project from Army Trail Boulevard to Lake Street.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an IDOT joint funding agreement for construction work on the Lombard Road North resurfacing project from Army Trail Road to Lake Street. Army Trail Boulevard, pardon me, to Lake Street. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an IDOT joint funding agreement for construction work on the Lombard Road North resurfacing project from Army Trail Boulevard to Lake Street.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion and second to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Excuse me. 8K is consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Itasca Fire Protection District.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Itasca Fire Protection District. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Itasca Fire Protection District.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8L is consideration of a resolution approving continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Itasca.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Itasca. The committee recommended approval. An attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Itasca.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Item M is the consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services excuse me, for the Village of Westmont.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Westmont. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving the continuation of Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center services for the Village of Westmont.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. Item 9, Mayor's Report. I have 3 requests for raffle permits. The first is a request for a permit for the Women's Club of Addison for an event being held on March 14th at the Addison VFW. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The request is approved. Second is a request for the Illinois Spina Bifida Association for an event being held on April 12th at the Stardust Bowl. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The request is approved. And lastly, the request for a permit for the Addison Trail High School Orchestra's team for events being held at the school on May 2nd and 3rd. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The requests are approved. Item 10, Officers Report, Village Attorney.
I have nothing tonight, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Village Manager.
No report tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Village Clerk.
Yes, we have a few things coming up. There is the Community Art Show, which is ongoing right now through March 19th at the Addison Center for the Arts. The hours are Wednesday through Saturday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then the Addison Park District Spring Ball for Families is this Friday, March 6th. The Community Park Rec Center is where the event will be held. Then the Historical Museum Open House is this Saturday, March 8th, from noon until 4 p.m. Then the Veterans Assistance Service at Addison Township is available the second Tuesday of every month. The next one will be on Tuesday, March 11th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Addison Township facility. Also, early voting will begin on March 17th and continue to March 31st, and that is for the April 1st election. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Item 11 is Commission and Board reports. We have none this evening. Executive session, we do not need. Audience participation, we have none. Item 14,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.